Yo, what is up, my bubbly boys? Back here in our video. Hope you guys have an amazing day. Today we are going to be doing part 2 of our Breaking A-BAO series, right? So in this series we are using Live Twin, different versions of Live Twin, in order to break the new card that's coming out in Supreme Darkness, A-BAO the Lightless Shadow, right? So in my previous video, so if you haven't checked that out already, please consider checking that out. That deck was freaking insane. Last time we did a pure Live Twin, and now we are going to be doing a Dogmatica Live Twin. So Dogmatica Live Twin is really one of those interesting decks that could is like one of the very few decks that can actually like lock your opponent out of playing the game. And that's just some with some very few cards, and that also this is a little bit better than Live Twin because it does give you extra draws. The extra deck space is a little bit tight, but overall it's a very nice deck, very consistent. And I just really like the idea of this deck. It's a very powerful deck, and I do think it's one of the better versions of Live Tone, right? So I'm gonna give you guys a quick deck list, and then after that I show you guys the combo, the 2-card combo, as you can see in the thumbnail. That is literally an auto win. Like once you put this combo down, there's very few ways for your opponents to win the game. That is literally so good. Your opponent won't be able to play the game at all, right? So yeah, so before we get started, don't forget to like and subscribe. We're trying to reach 500 subscribers, so if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. I greatly appreciate it. You guys have no idea how much I appreciate one subscription, and it's free, so why not? So who doesn't like free, right? So let's hop right into it, right? So first we're gonna start off with the deck list. So for this deck list specifically, I'm gonna run 3 Live Twin Lila and then 2 Key Skill. We need to make space for our Dogmatic engine, and we do need to make sure our deck is the lowest as we can make it. So I did cut down some Key Skills, and I did make it so that way we're more likely to see Lila than Key Skill, right? But you still want the deck to be consistent, so that's why we're running 2 Key Skills instead of just 1. Next, you're running the Treat and 1 Frost. Of course, since you're running more Key Skills, you're more likely to see her as well, so you do need to run the Treat, right? And then, of course, you have 3 Secret Password, 3 Sunny Snitch, and then 2 Secret Password, right? This is a very interesting lineup because Droll is in the format, so Secret Password kind of sucks, to be honest. But what I'm considering about doing is replacing this Ghost Ogre right here, and like, actually, you know what? No, that's not replacing the Ghost Ogre. Raising 3 Fool Loss, citing it, putting in the side deck, and then replace it for 3 Droll, so we at least have it as cross-out target, and it's at least a little bit better going first as well. So yeah, I'm just not really 100% sure about this deck list just yet. Fool Loss is an amazing card, but it's mostly only good in decks that are really good at, like, you want your opponent to play, right? This deck needs to be able to play into your opponent's board on your turn, right? And this deck is somewhat good at that, but at the same time, like, if they negate your Lila or something like that, you're kind of screwed. But you just have to freaking you have to figure it out, like, you know what I mean? So it's a very interesting card, very controversial in this deck. I'm not 100% sure on it, but yeah. So next we're running for the Dogmatica, and actually, you know what? We could go to 9 engine first. So 3 Ash, 3 Nibiru. 3 Nibiru is because when you Nibiru your opponent, even if you're going second, what you could do, you could go ahead and leave the Nibiru token in attack mode. And if it's higher, at least than Nibiru, you could just go ahead, attack, crash into your Nibiru, destroy your own Nibiru. And after that, you go main phase 2, and then after that, you go ahead and keep on playing, right? And most likely, you're gonna be able to set up that lock, so your opponent really can't special summon, and basically your opponent can't really do anything on the snapback, right? So you're basically breaking your opponent's board with Nibiru, and it's an insane card when you think of it that way, right? So like you're making your own board on your turn. It's basically like a turn skip, basically most of the time, right? So whenever you have Nibiru, it's an insane card. It's very impactful, and I do think it's worth running at 3, right? And of course, you do need at least 1 for the cross-out target, so because the deck does lose to Nibiru. So yeah, next you have 3 Veiler, 3 Imperm. Like I said again in the last video, it's okay to have 3 Imperm now because you have a Baoku to discard it in your turn, in your opponent's turn, if you do not draw into like a playable hand trap such as Fool Loss or Imperm. So it's really okay to run 3 Imperm. It's also really good going second. It's really good pairing it with the Nibiru as well. And then after that, you have one Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. This was more of a flex spot more than anything. This could be any hand trap. I just felt like Ghost Ogre is really, really nice. So like, you could even run 3 of it if you wanted to. I just really think Ghost Ogre was a nice little flex spot because it's good against Tenpai, it's good against Yubel, it's good against Snake Guys in some cases. Let's say if they set the Deceptions off of the Abel Star, you're able to go ahead and Ghost Ogre that. It is just so, it gives them so much negatives that you have no idea. It's a very, very good card overall. Very, very good at a lot of matchups. And yeah, that's basically it. And then after, you have 3 full loss for going second, right? Because this deck sucks going second, so you need to be able to go play going second. Next, you have 3 Crossfire, 1 Call by the Grave. I really wish I could side this, but this deck is really not that good into hand traps whatsoever. Especially multiples, especially right now where you're having to face multiple hand traps. You really need this in the main, no matter what. Unfortunately, as much as it is bad going second, you really need to run this, right? Next, after that, for the Dogmatika engine, you do have 3 Nadir Servant, 2 Dogmatika Maximus. Reason for Nadir Servant is the best card you want to draw. Maximus is the second best, and of course, Ecclesia is the third best, right? And next, you have 1 Fleur de Lis. A Fleur de Lis is your negate you search off of Titanclad, and this is for your lock, right? This is for your lock, Archlord Christia. So we are using Archlord Christia in order to actually lock our opponent out of playing the game. Now, I know you guys really see Baoku paired up with JOWGEN, that one card that locks your opponent's out of special summon. But this is the same exact thing. This does the same exact thing as JOWGEN. So if you skip all this extra text, right? Oh, let me just show you guys. If you skip all this extra text right here, it says right at the bottom here, neither player can special summon monsters. So it's the same thing as JOWGEN. It's just has extra effects that don't really apply that often, but sometimes it does. Like that, like if this card would be sent to the graveyard, place that on top of the deck instead, so that way you can lock your opponent out again. It's insane because you could discard off of a Baoku and on the next following turn, you could just summon it back with a Baoku that just comes back. It's insane, really. And it's a 2800 beast stick, so it helps to kill your opponent very easily. And it's an insane card. It's insane. And then after that, of course, you do have Blazing Arcacia. This is the only brick in your deck. So that's why we are running it at 41. This is the worst brick you could draw in your deck. This is the hardest brick you could have. And yeah, so that is basically it for Cartasia. This is just how we can summon Grand Bruno. I'll show you guys the combo in a bit, and show you guys why we're running Cartasia, right? So next for the extract, you're running 2 Keyskill, 2 Lila, 2 Trouble Sunny, 2 Trouble Sunny because Muckraker acts as a third, so you really don't need 3 Trouble Sunny. Muckraker is basically a better one because it needs less materials. And is that extra body on board, right? It's an extra 1000 attack. That extra 1000 attack is really, really nice, right? And then you have 1 Abaoku, 1 Axis Code, 1 Muckraker, and then you have 1 Gragnino, Titaniclad, and Garura, Entis, Lulu Walilith, this is for combo, and then Mirror Logic Aggregator. You know what I just noticed? I don't have Lingering Bone in this deck. Hold up. So, what you are supposed to run, because sometimes you're gonna open up. I mean, actually, you know what? I think you definitely need to run it. So, we do need Lingerivo. So let's put Lingerivo here. Alrighty, we are back. In this case, we are running the Lingerivo. So basically what I did was I replaced the DD Crow on the side for Aggregator, and then so we have it as an Ultimate Slayer target, games 2 and 3, because there's not a lot of XCs in this today's format, so you could really just side it, to be honest. And then you need the Lingerivo, is because you do need it to send this to Grave to summon out something like Maximus, right? Now, just the thing with this deck, right? So overall, this is just an example side deck, so you could just go based off of this, and you could change it to your own liking, of course. The only thing with the side deck where you could consider is playing a very, very small Fiendsmith engine, right? So that way it does play around board breakers, and like if you set up a Desiree, it's very nice because you play around board breakers. It's just I couldn't really find any room for anything, because remember, the Dogmatika engine takes up a lot of room. It takes up 6 slots. Takes up 6 slots in your extra deck. in order to actually play this engine. So it's a very, very tight extra deck, and I really don't think Fiendsmith is going to be something you want to be running with this deck as well on top of the Dogmatika engine, unless you really, really want to minimize the Dogmatika engine. So if you do want to minimize the Dogmatika engine, all you're going to need is the Grand Grignol, the Titaniclad, and the Destiny with Lulu Walili, unless you want to go for a Shadow Schism approach, right? So all you need to run is then Abkalon, uh, Winda, and then after that the Schism in the deck, right? So yeah, we're gonna be going into the combo section now, so I'll see you guys there. Alright, we are back with take 3 because I was doing the combo, and then after that my opponent didn't have an extra deck, so I couldn't really activate the effect of Maximus, so it was very, very unfortunate, so I had to record that all over again. So this is the 2-card combo that I was talking about. All you need is some access to your Live Twin engine. In such case, we have ourselves the Live Twin Sunny Snitch as our access to our Live Twin engine, and of course any access to the Dogmatic engine being in this case Nadir Servant, right? So first what we're going to go ahead and do, we're going to go ahead and activate Sunny Snitch. We're not going to activate Cross Out. We're going to add a monster. We're going to add Lila, because Lila is the better normal summon. Next we're going to go ahead and activate the Lila effect. Lila's going to summon back a key skill from the deck. We're going to summon the Frost here. And next after that we could go ahead and link these two into a key skill, right? Next after that we could go key skills effect into our Lila, summon back Lila from grave. And after that we could link these two into a Lila, right? We're gonna activate the Lila effect. We're gonna summon out a key skill, right? We're gonna use the key skill effect. Since we control Lila, we get to draw a card, right? And next we draw into Ecclesia. That's fine. Normally we want to summon it off the deck, but you know that's okay for follow-up. And then next after that, what we could do, we could link these two into Troubles Honey. Now, if you did open up like something like a Ecclesia or Maximus, what you will want to do is, if you like, let's say if you normal summon Lila and summon the key skill from deck, you could go ahead and, since Lila is a cyber, so you could link it off for a Lingering Bow, and then after that link off the Lingering Bow and key skill for a key skill Frost or whatever key skill monster you have on field into a key skill. It's still doing the regular combo, but it puts an extra linking grave, which is really nice, because then after that you could be able to go into your Dogmatika plays without having to banish anything you actually need, right? So next after that we're gonna go ahead and go Troubles Honey. It's gonna summon back the 2 twins from the grave. And then we're not gonna activate Lila's effect, it's not unchained. Okay, so next we're gonna go ahead and link this and this into a A-BAO, right? Next after that we're going to go ahead, and since we're finished with the extra deck, we go ahead and go Nadir Servant. Nadir Servant is then going to send something from the extra deck grave, so we're going to, in this case, we're going to send Garura. There's really nothing to pop, really, so we can't really send Entis, and we're going to be grabbing one of our Maximus. It doesn't matter. Then after that, we're going to use Garua's effect in order to draw a card, right? So we draw into Lila, doesn't really do anything right now. This is why I saved the effect of Baoku, so we could discard the Lila or discard the Ecclesia, right? That we don't need in hand, right? So next after that, we could go Maximus. Maximus effect is going to go ahead and banish the Garura, and then summon itself. Next, what we could do, we could go ahead and use the Maximus effect. Very important here. We're gonna go ahead and send the Titaniclad and send the Lulu Walila from deck to grave. From the extra deck to grave, my bad. And next after that, after we do this, we could actually go ahead and go Baoku. Discard 1 card from our hand, and after that use it to summon back the Troubles Honey from grave, right? So we can summon back the Troubles Honey. And then we are going to set a card, so we could really just set the cross-out designator we have in hand. Doesn't really do anything in our hand. And then we're going to just go ahead and pass turn. So on end phase, there's a lot of effects we're going to have. So the Baoku does come back. And then we also do have the Lulu Walila. Summons any light spellcaster whose attack is equals its own defense from the hand of deck. So normally you'll be able to see this for okay, hold up, why isn't that letting me? Okay, no, I don't want to. Okay, so next after that we get to go ahead and summon Cartatia, right? Normally you'd be able to see this with White Forest, but instead we're going to be summoning Ecclesia, right? And next after that we're going to go Titaniclad is going to add a Dogmatika. So what we could do, we could add a Fleur-de-Lis. So we're going to add it to hand. So this is now an extra interruption. So this is going to be our opponent's turn now. Because now what we could do, okay, he's going to go Foolish Barrier Goods. Doesn't really matter. Because now what we're able to do, we're able to go Cartatia. okay, in the main phase. And then after that, he's gonna be able to fusion summon, right? So next we're gonna fusion summon into our Grand Great Gnome. So we can really just fusion anything. We just need Cortesia here. So since we don't really need our Calacia in hand, I do want the Maximus for follow-up just to pop more cards. We could use these two into our copy of Grand Great Gnome, right? Next after that, Grand Great Gnome will activate the effect. Is going to go ahead and send the Christia from our deck to Grave, right? So we're gonna send the Christia, and then after that we could go ahead and go about who effect, discarding one card, and it's going to banish itself to summon any lighter dark from Grave. So in that case, we get to go ahead and summon out Christia. Our opponent can't do anything. And of course, since our opponent added, we could draw a card. You know, not that big of a deal. You know what I mean? Don't mind that. So next after that, we're gonna go ahead and okay. So what does this do again? I don't even know. I'm just going against a bot. So basically, this is the lock, right? This is the okay, just island, but you can't special summon anyways. So you can't really do anything. What are you gonna go battle phase for? Okay, okay, pass turn. Baoku comes back. Since this is not a special summon, this doesn't count as special summon, right? It's just simply placing itself back on the field. So a Baoku is able to come back, which is really nice here. So you're able to even pop cards on your opponent's turn is really insane, and you're still able to activate effects, right? So next after that, on the crackback, once you're able to lock your opponent out of playing the game, all you really need to do is use the effect of Dogmatika to go Maximus to go ahead and send, like, we could send like Entis and Amiria Logic, and next after that you could go ahead and activate these two effects. So like the Entis is going to destroy, and then Amiria Logic is going to negate, right? So oh, I did a mistake. Anyways, he bounces back the Entis and Dogmatika Maximus anyways. So what we're just able to do, can't really do anything, but your opponent can't do anything either. So really all you need to do is go battle phase, attack for 33, attack for 28. Now this is why I said this is better than JOWGEN, because it's just an extra beat stick. And of course, even if that was JOWGEN, you could just do a Grand Great Gnome instead and just attack the game, right? So this deck is very insane, very I wouldn't say fun for the other player, but it's very fun for us because we just get to lock our opponent from playing the game, and it's just very easy to win with this deck if you do draw the right hand. It's very fun to play with, and I do think is a fun thing to test out, especially with A-BAO coming out. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.